Merry Meet. So today I want to review a tarot deck, and the one I want to review is the Happy Tarot. For a start though, let me say that I'm sorry for my absence. I have been visiting my mother for a couple of weeks. I haven't been able to afford a really expensive vacation this year, so I went to my mother's place, we went camping, we took a road trip over to Sweden, did a lot of fun things. But anyway, I'm back, so time to make some videos. So yes, the Happy Tarot. Now, generally speaking, when I heard this tarot deck was coming out, it was one of those I was thinking, no, I'm just not getting that. Because generally speaking, this kind of cheap, it looks like cheap children's book style drawings isn't my style, but something got me to pick up this deck anyway, and I'm sort of glad I did, because it is actually pretty nice. So, let's have a look at it. It is... There. Come on, little cat, you want to come out? It is from Los Caribbean, and yes, let's start with the little white book as usual. Here is the little white book, and as has been the case with Los Caribbean lately, little white book hasn't been that impressive, because, well, this looks like a pretty good size. It is 5 languages in here. It's English, Italian, Spanish, French, and Deutsch. So you can imagine it's not a lot of pages. Like usual, it has a layout. The layout this time is sort of boring. It's a typical 3-card layout, which is a layout that you can use for a lot of things, but yes. It has some intro about the deck, something about using the cards, and then we have the cards. And as you can see, each card just get this little blurb, and that's the same for the major and the minor arcana. And then we have a description of the layout in the back, don't we? No, not so much. There, yeah. We have a description of the layout. That's it. So, yeah. I usually don't even bother with these books from Los Caribbean lately. They are not particularly good. But I can forgive them that, because really, there's so many books about the tarot out there, and websites and so on and so forth, so finding the information you need is not difficult. It's much worse when oracle deck doesn't have a proper book, because then you sort of have to make up your own system or be unable to use it. But for a tarot deck, you can usually find what you're looking for. So let's have a look at the cards, shall we? So yes, here we have the Fool, and they look a little bit like mangas for kids. They're very cute. Like I said, it isn't necessarily my type of imagery, but they are very cute, and the deck do speak to me. The symbolism is however great, and it do serve its purpose. It do make you in a good mood to look at this, because my crappy mobile camera just cannot do justice to just how colorful these cards are. They look pretty damn good. And while I said it looks like cheap storybooks, I don't mean that the images in themselves are cheap, because the person that has made them has done a really good job. It's just this kind of picture book style isn't necessarily what I like, but yeah, I sort of liked it in this deck. This is based on the rider white, as you can see, though cutified. I think this deck is definitely one that can be cool to just pick up and use on a day you're feeling bad and you need to just make yourself feel better. Then this will be a great deck to use. And I also think it could be a good deck to use when doing divinations about things that are fun, or when you're doing divinations about children, for example, or about fertility, because it has that very childlike vibe for it. Oh, and look at little cutie Death. Ain't he cute? The images has a bit of a fairy tale style. Uh, like, basically it's westernized chibi manga fairy style type imagery in the Rider White. And here we have the Lord of Evil himself. So yeah, and the images are well drawn, they're colorful. I think this is a pretty good deck. Could you have this as your main divination deck? Yeah, sure. There's enough symbolism here. Basically most, if not all, of the Rider White symbolism is there. It's just in a cuter variation. I probably won't use the deck as that. What I will be using it for is, generally speaking, divinations for more cheerful topics, and also I will use it when I need to cheer myself up, and I will use it for divinations when it comes to children. But yeah, this is definitely a nice practical deck. And when it comes to children, I think this could be a pretty good starter deck for a child, because it has a very child-friendly imagery, while at the same time, yes, there's a bit of nudity, cartoon nudity, but really, I don't see that as an issue. But yes, it has a very cheerful, child-friendly look to it, and at the same time it has all the symbolism. It isn't dumbed down, which makes it a good deck to learn from. And I think that for some people it might also, for adults, be a good first deck, because it feels very non-threatening. It can be a very good deck to start with for people who have a bit of the, oh no, the tarot, complicated feeling, and therefore is getting stuck. And if they instead get something like that, it can be easier to just get into it, because it doesn't feel that complicated when the images looks like this. Now, as you can see, we have moved into the minor arcana here, and they are fully illustrated, which I like. So, here we are, and here's the back on them. We clearly see the fairy tale imagery, and what I do like is that the backs are reversible. You cannot see if a card is right side up or reversed from the back of it. The cardstock quality is acceptable. It's not fantastic, but it'll stand up for some uses. It's acceptable. All in all, I am very pleased with this deck. I can't really point out a lot of faults. And I like it a whole lot more than I thought I would. I thought this would be just some sort of novelty deck in a style that I don't really like. But instead, this is one of the decks I've bought recently that I am really looking forward to start reading with, because while very, very cute and very childish in a way, it is also very well made. The symbolism is great. And yeah, and I mean, also for meditation, for example, excuse me one moment. There we are. Also for meditation, for example, I have a tendency to get into gloomy moods and meditations to get out of it. I'll definitely give these a try because these cards are a color infusion. So yeah, I am happy with this deck. It is well made, looks very cute, but while I thought it would look very cheap, it doesn't. It's very well drawn, and yeah, I don't really have that much to say other than that this is a great deck. If you want something that isn't directly a novelty deck, but something a little bit different from your regular red or white and so on and so forth, then this might be a deck you want to check out. So yeah, it's definitely good for reading with. It can be good for meditations, especially if you need that meditation to give you that little extra pep, or for meditations to work with your chakra, because there's a lot of colors here. And yeah, it's really good. I give this 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. The only complaints I could have is this book, and because it's just not good enough, and that the card stock isn't fantastic. But I mean, it's a lot better than what we have seen a lot lately, so I can't really complain. I also think I forgot to tell you who made it. It's Serena Ficca. Yes, Serena Ficca. That's her name. That has made this deck, and she is obviously a very clever woman because this is quite excellent. And that is my review of the Happy Tarot. I hope you have enjoyed this review and have a great day. And one more thing I have to say before I go. This deck is really one of those that make me in a good mood looking at. I was in a really bad mood, feeling down when I got this deck in the mail, and just flipping through it, I just feel better. I feel more happy. So it does its job. It's the Happy Tarot. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day, and blessed be.